Good morning, or whatever time of the day that you're watching this. Welcome. I think this might be the 5th or 6th week of our self-care sessions. We'll just start with the code like we normally do, and remind ourselves of these really important values that we try to, or tools that we try to pass on to the kids. So be strong, be calm, be kind, and try hard. Awesome. I hope that you're traveling as well as can be expected in these times. Okay, so I've got a chair here. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of sort of breath work and a little bit of soft dynamic movement, and then we'll bring the chair in. That's partly just because you know, you're often probably sitting in a chair and there's just a few little things you can do just in the middle of the day if you just need to, you know, give yourself a bit of care. Okay, so we'll stand with our feet hip width apart, and we're going to do a little bit of a check-in to our body. So just standing feet hip width apart, and let your arms hang nice and loose. And what we're going to do is close our eyes and just use our mind kind of like a torch and moving through our body. So if you want to start with your feet and just see if you can feel how each part of your body is feeling. So we'll move through our feet, ankles, calves, shins. Notice how your knees are, your thighs, up into your pelvis, hips. Notice how your belly is, lower back, moving up into your chest, shoulder blades. Notice your shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, hands, fingers. Notice your neck, base of your skull, all through your head, forehead, ears, eyes, nose, jaw. Okay, and opening your eyes. So noticing is, I guess, one of the first steps to looking after ourselves. Often we just get so busy that we forget to notice where we're at. So, and often as soon as we kind of bring our mind into our body, we start actually to shift into a different place. So that in itself is a useful tool. Okay, so now we're going to just look at our posture a little bit. So just imagine that something is gently pulling you from the tip of your head, and if you imagine all the way down your spine, right down the end of the coccyx, and it's almost like you're gently being pulled either side to give you a really beautiful sense of openness and straight spine. So we can have a slight off lock kind of in our legs. So knees can be tiny, tiny little bit bent, and we're nice and straight. Okay, so if we clasp our thumbs in our fingers, and as we breathe in, we're going to breathe in and breathe out. And we're compressing, bending into our knees and compressing towards the floor. And then breathing in, coming up on your toes and really expansive. And breathing in. And breathing out. Oops, I've done the opposite again. Sorry. So breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. Really compressing down and breathing in. Really expansive and breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Right up onto your toes. And breathing out. Okay, excellent. Okay, so now we're going to just start a little bit of a gentle bounce into our knees. And we'll see if we can keep that nice straight posture. And as we bounce into our knees, we're going to lift our shoulders and bouncing out through the heels of our palms. And see if you can keep your breath going, your conscious breathing. That's it. So really see if you can, so what we're doing is we're lifting our shoulders towards our ears and just gently letting them bounce. Pushing out gently through the heels of our palms. Okay, now we're going to slowly bring our palms to 45 degrees. So it's sort of an angle downwards. See if you can really get those shoulders moving backwards and forwards. Now 90 degrees. Good, up another 45 degrees. Now all the way up and have a little jump. See if you can still get those shoulders moving up and down. Good jump. Okay, and now we're going to move them back and all the way down. With your fingers pointing backwards. Now the heels of the hands moving backwards. Now coming to the front of the body. Keep bouncing all the way down and crossing hands, arms over and all the way up and down and just shaking your arms out a little bit. Okay, so again we're going to do our sink down with our nice straight spine, really pulling that, sort of tipping that pelvis a little bit forward so it straightens our back. And we're going to do our, I call this spaghetti arms with the kids. So what we're doing is we're moving our torso like a kind of top loader washing machine, and we're letting our arms be very, very floppy. So this whole movement is coming from the torso. And you can start nice and slow. Try to take a few deep breaths as we're doing this. Really letting the tension move out of the arms. Okay, then we can move make a very kind of loose fist, and we can tap the sides of our torso. Then moving up to the fronts of the shoulders. So again, it's just really seeing how heavy can we make our arms. Nice and heavy and loose. Tops of the shoulders. Making sure that you're breathing. Good, and moving back down. And just let them slowly come to a stop. Okay. All right. So now to bring a bit of mobility into the spine, standing up nice and straight, and we're going to do a roll down. So we're going to start by bringing our chin to our chest and try vertebra by vertebra to slowly roll down. So our arms and fingers are hanging nice and loose. And just see if you can visualize rolling down each vertebra. So you're moving down the upper back, middle back, going down into the lower back, vertebra by vertebra, rolling all the way down until you're hanging nice and loose. Just let your arms hang. Okay, breathing in and out as you roll up, again vertebra by vertebra. All the way up. Make sure your chin and neck are last. Head popping up. Okay. All right, so I'm going to grab my chair. So you can sit on your couch, on the floor, find a chair. Let's bring that over a tiny bit more so I'm in the middle. All right. Okay, so we're going to pick up a foot and we're going to start working quite strongly into the backs of our toes. So make sure, so with both my thumbs, I'm working nice and strongly into the backs of my toes. Into the ball of my foot, now underneath the ball of my foot. And I'm finding this spot, there's a dip right below the ball of your foot. I'm going to bring my two thumbs in there and I'm going to, like with a kind of a rhythmic count of 3, 1, 2, 3 and release, 1, 2, 3 and release, 1, 2, 3 and release, 1, 2, 3 and release. Good. And just keep working down all through that bottom of your foot. This is something you can do if you've got like a 5-minute break or something like that, if you're sitting in a chair in front of a computer. Okay, so just working through the top of your foot a little bit with your fingertips. So I'm pressing in. Good, and bringing your toes forwards and back. And give some nice circles. Okay, and just notice for a minute the difference. See if you can feel the difference between your 2 feet. You should feel one starting to feel a little bit zingy and alive. Okay, so bringing up the other one. So we're going to work into the backs of our toes quite strongly. Into the balls of our feet. And find that spot. 1, 2, 3 and release. 1, 2, 3 and release. 1, 2, 3 and release. Continuing to work down the center of the foot. Into the heel a little bit. With your fingertips, you can really press into the top of your foot. Toes, stretch them forwards and backwards. And a few rotations. Great, all right. So now we're going to work a little bit in our palms. So we're just going to give a bit of a tap to start off with, into the center of the palm. And again, see if you can get into your breathing a little bit. Sighing out is always really good if you're feeling anxious or tense. Okay, so just now with your thumb, really, again, pressing into the center of your palm. So 1, 2, 3, and release. 1, 2, 3, and release. 1, 2, 3, and release. And we're just going to give our fingers a pull and a shake. Just sort of to help us through from that, all that computer work. All right, other side. Out. 1, 2, 3, and release. 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 Good. And fingers. Give them a good pull. Shake your hands. And just interlock your fingers, and we'll just do a little bit of movement for our wrists. Okay, shake them out again. Okay, so now, so moving into the back of our skull, just where the top of your skull, bottom of your skull meets the top of your neck, we want to really press in with our thumbs all the way along that line. So if you find that little hole bit right in the middle, so just if you follow the top of your spine all the way up, and there's that little hole area, really try to press up into that with your thumbs. If you just work down one side, really deeply, could be quite sore, all the way down to the base of your ear. And other side, so really press in all the way to the base of the ear. Then you can get your fingertips and rub a little bit. Good, and tapping. That's it. All right, so now we'll tap from the forehead all the way over the top of the head and just to the side of the center line, either side, all the way down. And again, a bit further out. Good, and ears, really pull on your earlobes. Pull them out and up. Good. And just forehead. Just dragging your fingers across and letting them go. And we'll work a little bit into the jaw because that's where we hold so much tension. So just getting your fingertips into this really fleshy part on either side of the jaw. Really moving through there, all the way along the jawline. Now sort of circling. And then just striking down your head and shoulders. Okay, and last one, a little bit of tapping in the center of your chest. You're just using your breath again. And pressing in along under the collarbone. You can open your arm out. And bringing the other arm out, pressing under the collarbone. Okay. All right, so just notice how you're feeling now. So we're going to stand up again. I'm just going to move my chair out of the way. All right, so we'll just do a little bit of tapping on our shoulders, just because, and the side of the neck. So I'm just holding my arm up, elbow with my hand and tapping into the side of my neck, top of the shoulder. And they're just really nice and loose all the way down the arms, up the other side. Gently tapping through the chest. A bit of a circle, and let's do the other side. Tapping into the top of the shoulder. Okay, now we're going to reach up as far up your back as you can, either side, moving down. So just be gentle over the lower back. Down around the sacrum. Do the sides of the legs. The insides of the legs. The backs of the legs. Okay. All right, so we'll do a couple of really nice breathing exercises. So with this one, we did a similar one with Guy, if you've watched a couple of his sessions. So again, we're going to sink into our knees a little bit, and we're going to have that nice extended spine. If we start with our hands, almost like we're holding a ball, we're going to breathe in and breathe out. And as we breathe in, one hand comes up and one hand comes down. So we're breathing in and out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One hand comes up and the other hand comes down. Breathe in. Breathe out. One hand comes up and down. Breathe in and out. One comes up and down. Do a couple more, breathing in, out. And down. And again in and out. And coming up and down. Okay, so now we're going to do one which is really nice for opening up lungs. So again, we're going to breathe in, interlock your fingers, and we're going to breathe in, bringing them up, and we're going to stretch to one side, breathing out. So coming up on one toe, breathing in, we bring the hands down to the head, and breathing out, twist to the other side. Really looking up, breathing in, and breathing out. Really stretching up, breathing in, and out. Breathing in, and out. Couple more, breathing in, and out. Stretching up on your toe, and breathing in, and out. And breathing in, and bringing our hands down. Okay, so we'll just finish with just another little check-in. So just standing again, just finding that nice place on the center of your feet. So you can just rock a little bit on your feet. And we'll close our eyes, and as we move through our body again, I want you to notice if you can feel a difference in how your body feels from the beginning. So you might notice, that there's a little bit more kind of zing and vitality. So if you feel your feet and your calves and shins, knees, thighs, feel your buttocks, hips, belly, lower back, chest, upper back, shoulders, arms, hands and fingers. Feel your neck, head, eyes, jaw. And just stand just for a minute, relaxing into your breath. Okay, and opening your eyes. And we'll just finish with our code. These values that we try to carry through our day and our week. Okay, everybody, let's all be strong, be calm, be kind, and try hard. All right, thank you so much, and hope you all have a great week. See ya.